Okay, so you're here, which means you're not the type who just skims the surface, right? You like to get into the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, who doesn't love that satisfying aha moment when you really grasp something?
Exactly. So we know you like to learn, you like to be in the know, but you also value your time. You don't want to wade through a ton of fluff just to get to the good stuff.
Well, that's what we're all about here, cutting to the chase, extracting those golden nuggets of knowledge.
So today, let's tackle something that we all do, probably more than we realize, but maybe haven't thought about too deeply.
I like that, teasing it out a bit.
All right, so how do you really articulate why you love a certain book or get totally swept away by a movie or feel so deeply connected to a particular song or a whole band even?
And to make it even trickier, how do you do all of that in English?
Yeah, especially if English isn't your first language. I mean, that adds a whole other layer, right?
Definitely. But even for native speakers sometimes, it's like, that feeling when you just can't quite put your finger on why something resonates so strongly, or you struggle to express that feeling to someone else.
It's like you know it in your heart, but the words get jumbled up somewhere between your brain and your mouth.
Exactly.
Well, good news, we've got some fantastic sources this time around that basically lay out a roadmap, a complete guide to discussing your entertainment preferences in a way that's engaging, thoughtful, and well, honestly, makes you sound like you really know your stuff.
Yeah, and it covers a lot of ground. Everything from why this is even a valuable skill to have in the first place, to the nuts and bolts of how to structure your thoughts, the language to use, even how to handle those moments when someone just doesn't get your undying love for that super obscure indie band you're obsessed with.
Okay, so big picture today, we're diving deep to equip you with the tools and honestly the confidence to really express what those stories, those sounds, those visual experiences mean to you.
Yeah, it's about going beyond just, a simple, I liked it, or it was boring.
We're talking about articulating the why, how it made you feel, the impact it had.
And when you think about it, these kinds of discussions, they're actually kind of fundamental to how we connect as humans.
Oh, totally.
Right.
It's like social currency in a way.
Exactly. Whether you're breaking the ice with someone new, you're at a party or a networking event, or you're trying to find common ground with colleagues at work, or even just deepening relationships with friends and family.
Being able to talk about a movie that everyone's raving about, or that thought-provoking book you just couldn't put down. It's like a universal language, a way to spark connection.
Absolutely.
And think about it, it's like a sneaky way to boost your English skills without even realizing it, right?
Totally. I mean, you're stretching your vocabulary, you're picking up on cultural references, and you're even flexing those critical thinking muscles as you break down storylines and analyze characters and themes.
It's like learning by osmosis, but about things you genuinely enjoy.
And what's really interesting is that this ability to articulate your taste in entertainment can even have professional benefits.
Oh, tell me more about that.
Well, think about it. If you can share a well-thought-out opinion about a documentary that's relevant to your field, or a novel that explores themes of leadership, you're demonstrating intellectual curiosity and strong communication skills.
It's subtle, but it can definitely make an impression, especially in professional settings.
Right. It shows that you're not just passively consuming entertainment, you're actively engaging with it, and that can speak volumes.
Okay, so where do we even begin with all of this? The material we've gathered really emphasizes starting with yourself, with that inner reflection.
Yeah, it's like taking inventory of those books, movies, songs that have really stuck with you, the ones you keep coming back to, the ones that have left a mark.
Exactly. And maybe even as we're talking about this, you, the listener, could even start jotting down a few that come to mind.
Yeah, just to have those front and center as we go through this.
All right, so you've got your list now. The really crucial part comes in asking yourself why.
Why did this particular story resonate so deeply? Why did that album become the soundtrack to a specific period in your life?
Did a certain movie challenge your perspective or introduce you to a new way of thinking?
Yeah, those are the golden questions.
It's about excavating those core reasons for your connection to a piece of art.
What themes keep popping up for you across different forms of entertainment? Are you drawn to stories of resilience, or maybe films with stunning visuals?
Do you find yourself gravitating towards music that's super lyrical and poetic, or music that makes you want to get up and dance?
I mean, I'm a sucker for a good melody.
Me too. Oh, and harmonies. Give me all the harmonies.
Yes, identifying those patterns, those threads that run through your preferences, that's what gives you that solid foundation for a really engaging discussion.
And it's not just about the content itself, right?
Oh, definitely. There's the whole context of your experience with these favorites.
So think about that initial encounter. Was there a specific moment or a time in your life when you first discovered that book or saw that film?
Maybe you were traveling. Maybe it was a gift from someone special, or maybe you stumbled upon it purely by chance.
And those circumstances, those personal anchors, they add so much depth to your ability to talk about why something matters to you.
It's like layering on meaning.
Right. Absolutely. And just to add another layer,
But there's always another layer.
always, right? But just to broaden things out a bit, it can be really helpful to stay somewhat current with what's happening in the world of entertainment.
Now, I'm not saying you need to be an encyclopedia of every new release,
Right. You don't have to see every blockbuster or read every bestseller.
but having a general awareness of what's generating buzz, what's being critically acclaimed, what's sparking conversations in your circles, that can provide some really fertile ground for discussion.
Imagine being able to chime in with an informed opinion on a documentary your colleague just mentioned, or a novel that's all over social media.
It shows you're engaged, you're
Yeah.
curious, you're part of the cultural conversation.
And this is where actively building your vocabulary comes into play.
Oh yeah, words are your weapons in this game, my friend.
Our sources actually highlight the power of descriptive adjectives. Words like haunting, visceral, euphoric.
Those are good ones.
Right, they paint a picture, they evoke a feeling.
Much better than just saying good or bad, right?
So much better. And don't underestimate the power of comparative and superlative language.
Yes, more nuanced, the most innovative, the wittiest dialogue I've ever heard.
Exactly. Those kinds of comparisons help you express those finer distinctions in your opinions.
And here's a fun one. How often do we think about using idiomatic expressions when we're talking about entertainment?
I actually don't think I do that very often.
Right, we'll think about phrases like a real tearjerker for a moving film, or a cinematic triumph for a movie that just blew you away.
Oh, or for a book, a real page turner.
Exactly. Those little nuggets, they add color and personality to your language, and they demonstrate a deeper understanding of English beyond just the basic vocabulary.
I like it. So we've got our favorites, we've thought about the why, we've maybe even learned a few new words. What's next?
Well, now it's about putting it all together. How do you actually structure a discussion so it's engaging and not just a random list of things you like?
Give me the framework.
Luckily, the sources point to a pretty intuitive structure. It's almost like telling a concise story about your experience with a particular piece of art.
Okay, I like stories.
And what's interesting is how consistently this structure applies across different mediums, whether you're talking about books, movies, music.
So you're telling me there's a secret formula?
Kind of. So you start with an introduction, right?
Yeah.
You name the work, and maybe you offer a little personal hook, like what prompted you to bring it up in the first place.
Like, oh my gosh, I just finished this book and I have to tell you about it.
Exactly, something like that. Then you move into the main body, where you provide a general overview, but then you really start digging into the specifics.
Okay, so what stood out to you? The plot, the characters, the themes, the way it was filmed or recorded?
Right. And crucially, how did it make you feel? What impact did it have on you?
That's the juicy stuff.
It is, then you can sprinkle in some comparisons, maybe mention other works that you thought of while you were experiencing this one. And of course, recommendations are always welcome. Who do you think would enjoy this? Why? What else might they like?
Okay, I'm taking notes. This is good.
And finally, you wrap it up with a nice, concise conclusion, summarize your main points, and maybe leave the other person with something to think about or encourage them to check it out for themselves.
Okay, framework acquired.
Now let's get specific, shall we?
Bring on the specifics.
All right, so books. Let's talk about books.
I'm always up for talking about books.
The sources we looked at suggest focusing on a few key elements when you're discussing a book.
Hit me with those elements.
So first up, you've got the plot. Was it intricate and full of twists and turns, or was it more straightforward?
Did it keep you guessing until the very end?
Exactly. Then there's the structure. Was it linear, or did it jump around in time?
Did it have flashbacks or multiple narrators? Oh, I love when books play with time.
Me too. It can be so effective. And then, of course, you have the characters. Are they believable? Do they feel real? Do they undergo any significant transformations?
Do you find yourself rooting for them or maybe even hating them?
I love a good villain.
Oh, me too. A good villain can make a book.
Absolutely. But beyond those surface-level elements, you can really elevate the conversation by diving into the themes and messages of the book.
Okay, so what were the big ideas that the author was grappling with? What were they trying to say about the world, about human nature?
How effectively did they convey those ideas? Did it leave you pondering big questions?
And don't forget about the author's craft, their writing style, the way they use language, the voice they create.
Oh yes, the voice is so important. It's what sets the tone. It's what draws you in.
And then to round it all out, you can touch on how the book was received by critics and other readers, and of course, most importantly, how it resonated with you personally.
Sharing that personal connection,
Yeah.
that's what makes the conversation truly come alive.
And remember all those juicy vocabulary words we talked about earlier?
Oh yeah, bring on the adjectives.
Gripping, atmospheric, profound, heartbreaking.
And don't forget those handy phrases. A literary tour de force, a compelling character study.
Ah, yes, a thought-provoking exploration of...
You're getting it.
I'm feeling more eloquent all day.
You know what a classic example like To Kill a Mockingbird? That's a great one to practice with.
A timeless classic.
Exactly. You could introduce it by mentioning its enduring relevance. Talk briefly about the plot involving racial injustice in the American South. Analyze Atticus Finch as this moral compass.
Discuss the themes of prejudice and empathy.
And then you could wrap it up by recommending it as a book that still has so much to teach us about justice and compassion.
It's amazing how a book written so long ago can still feel so relevant today.
That's the mark of a truly great work of art.
All right, so we've tackled books now. Let's move on to the world of moving pictures.
Movies. Oh yes, the magic of cinema.
So when you're discussing movies, the conversation naturally shifts a bit to accommodate the visual and auditory aspects of film.
Right, so instead of plot, you might talk about the storyline, how it unfolds.
Were there any unexpected twists or turns? Did it keep you on the edge of your seat?
And pacing is super important in film. Did it flow well? Did it drag at times?
Did it keep you engaged?
Then you have the director's vision and the cinematography. Those are key elements.
So what visual style did the director use? Was it dark and moody? Was it bright and whimsical?
How did the camera angles, the lighting, the composition contribute to the overall feeling of the film?
And of course, the performances, the actors bringing those characters to life.
Did they embody the roles convincingly? Did you believe them? Did you feel their emotions?
And then you have the themes and the emotional impact of the film.
What ideas was the movie exploring? What kind of emotional journey did it take you on? Did it make you laugh? Did it make you cry?
Did it stay with you long after the credits rolled?
And don't forget about the soundtrack and any special effects. Were they effective? Did they add to the experience or did they feel overdone?
A good soundtrack can make or break a movie. So true. And just like with books, having a specific vocabulary for discussing movies can really elevate your conversation.
So instead of just saying, it looked cool, you could say the cinematography was breathtaking.
Or the visual effects were groundbreaking.
The acting was superb.
The director's vision was truly unique.
It was a cinematic masterpiece.
Okay, now you're just showing off.
I can't help it. I'm getting carried away.
You're doing a great job. And you know what a mind-bending film like Inception, that's a perfect example to illustrate these points.
Oh, Inception, so good.
You could start by describing its complex premise, the whole idea of planting ideas in people's dreams.
Then you could talk about those visually stunning dream sequences. Remember that hallway scene that rotated?
And then you could delve into Christopher Nolan's directorial style, his signature non-linear storytelling.
Highlight Leonardo DiCaprio's performance. He's always so good.
And then you could analyze how the film blends genres, action, drama, science fiction to explore these really profound questions about the nature of reality. So you're speaking my language now.
We're on a roll.
Yeah.
All right, so we've covered books, we've covered movies, ready for some tunes.
Bring on the music.
Music, this is where it gets really personal.
Oh yeah, music has this incredible power to tap into our emotions, transport us to different times and places.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So when you're sharing your favorite tracks, artists, genres, those are natural starting points.
What kind of music is it? What are some of its defining characteristics?
And where did it originate? What are the cultural influences?
Then you can dig into the lyrics and the themes. What story are they telling? What message are they conveying?
Do they speak to universal emotions or do they address specific social or political issues?
And then there's the melody, the instrumentation, the arrangement. How is the song put together?
What instruments stand out? What kind of mood does the music create?
Is it upbeat and energetic? Is it mellow and contemplative?
And then you have the performance itself and the production, the quality of the recording.
How does the artist deliver the song? Is it raw and emotional? Is it polished and precise?
And often the most powerful part of discussing music is that personal connection.
Why does this particular song or artist resonate so deeply with you?
Does it evoke specific memories, emotions, a sense of nostalgia?
Maybe it reminds you of a certain person or a place.
Sharing those personal stories, those connections, that's what makes the conversation truly meaningful.
And as always, a well-chosen vocabulary can really enhance your ability to convey the essence of the music.
Words like hauntingly beautiful, infectiously upbeat, powerfully raw,
Oh, I love that. Powerfully raw.
and phrases like a timeless anthem, a groundbreaking sound.
Or an earworm you just can't get out of your head.
I'm full of them today.
Yeah.
And you know what? A song like Bohemian Rhapsody, that's a fantastic example to talk about.
Bohemian Rhapsody, such a classic.
You could discuss its unique structure, the way it blends genres so seamlessly.
Opera, rock ballad, it's got it all.
Then you could delve into the lyrics, exploring those deeper themes of identity, rebellion, searching for your place in the world.
Freddie Mercury's vocal performance is legendary.
It truly is. And you could talk about how the song continues to resonate with people across generations, why it's become such an iconic piece of music.
Okay, so we've covered what to talk about, but how do we make sure we're having an effective discussion, not just rambling on about our favorites?
Oh, well, our sources provide some excellent tips for that too.
Yeah.
And one of the most important things is to be mindful of your audience.
Who are you talking to?
Exactly. Are you talking to someone who shares your passion for a particular genre, or are you introducing it to someone who's completely unfamiliar with it?
You wouldn't talk about a super niche experimental film the same way you'd talk about the latest blockbuster.
Right. And context matters too. Is this a casual chat with friends or a more formal setting like a job interview or a presentation?
So adapt your tone, the level of detail, the vocabulary you use to fit the situation and the person you're talking to.
And don't underestimate the power of storytelling, even within a short discussion.
So start with a hook, something to grab their attention.
Present your points in a clear and logical way.
Be concise, but provide enough detail to really illustrate your perspective.
You want to share your enthusiasm without overwhelming them with information.
And perhaps most importantly, be an active listener.
Yes. Engage with the other person. Don't just talk at them.
Ask thoughtful questions, show genuine interest in their opinions.
And remember, not everyone is going to love the same things you do.
So acknowledge and respect those differences.
And offer constructive feedback when they share their thoughts.
It's a two-way street. It's a dialogue, not a monologue. So to sum it all up, by using these strategies, by expanding your vocabulary, you, our dear listener, are now much better equipped to discuss your beloved books, movies, and music in English with clarity and confidence.
You've got the tools, you've got the knowledge. Now go forth and share your passion.
And remember, this isn't just about making recommendations. It's about connecting with people on a deeper level. It's about showcasing your personality, your intellect, your ability to engage in thoughtful conversation.
It's about enriching your interactions and sharing those things that bring you joy.
And with that in mind, here's a final thought for you to ponder as you go about your day. Think about a book, a film, a piece of music that holds deep meaning for you. How might your ability to articulate your appreciation for it reveal something unique about you to others?
And in what unexpected ways might sharing that passion connect you with like-minded souls?
Food for thought.
Indeed, the power of art to connect us.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, keep those conversations flowing.
And keep diving deep.